Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the TradeStation Masterclass. Today is Easy Language Answered. We are going to get to your questions in just a moment. And by the way, if this is your first time here, we created this session to answer many easy language questions or get you in the right direction to create, custom studies and custom strategies. My name is Jesus Nava, by the way. I'm the Director of Client Training and Education for TradeStation Securities. Most of the questions today are going to be answered by my colleague, John Bruch. He's the Director of Easy Language Services from TradeStation Technologies. So before we open up the floor for Q&A, let's just go through some of the disclosures. Keep in mind that every symbol and idea that I talk about or that John talks about is for educational purposes only. It is not a recommendation of TradeStation. Also, that active trading is not suitable for everyone, should only be done with risk capital, that past historical performance is no guarantee of future results. And if anybody needs a little bit more information on these disclosures, the link is right there on this PowerPoint slide, www.tradestation.com/important-information. There's a couple ways that you guys can send questions to us. You can use the chat window. Just make sure that you set the chat windows to everyone. You're going to find a little drop down right there at the bottom. Or you can speak your question to us. Since these classes are manageable, I give everyone the ability to turn on your microphones. So if you wish to speak your question to us or make a comment to us, you're welcome to do so. So let me go ahead and welcome John. John, how you doing?
Hey, Jesus, how are you? Fine, thanks. Fine. How about you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. It's great to have you again, and
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to see what type of questions the guys here are going to send us. So I don't see any questions yet. I don't think you have anything. We didn't work on anything for this class.
No, nothing has come up recently that I know of.
Right. And in the meantime, while people are here, let me go ahead and share with everyone, the last file that you shared with us, so that you guys can have that. And in the meantime, feel free to send us questions about easy language that you probably have asked yourselves. I mean, I see some more people coming in, so let's give people a minute to see if they have any questions. Okay. This is the first time for Luis. Well, welcome, Luis, to class. And Prasad, yesterday we had some technical issues, right? Right here, I had sent an early notification that we were going to talk about a bar range extension, which is a custom strategy that we talked through. And I was all ready to present, and we had technical difficulties that, forced us to cancel the class last minute. So I apologize if anyone was waiting for the class to start. I think the cancellation notice did not go out until maybe 3 minutes after the fact. So sorry about that. Let's see. I was going to, this is the most recent one that I have. Let me just share it with everyone. What I'm sharing with everyone is a zip folder. The zip folder has an ELD file. ELD, for those that are not familiar, is an easy language document file. And it contains a lot of the exercises and examples that John has worked with us here during class. You're welcome to install it. Maybe the first time you use them, you're going to have a lot of questions because they're probably not documented the most efficient way. So if you have any questions, please just let us know. This session that we do, Easy Language Answered, we do it, once every 2 weeks. So it's a bi-weekly session. We have John with us to answer questions on easy language and just point you in the right direction. So I'm not sure if that's the most recent one that you sent me. Is from August 8th. It sounds like it's right, John? Because I don't think we've worked on anything more recent.
Correct. I think that's correct.
Okay, perfect. Now let me go ahead and stop my share and see if there's anything that I can think of that can probably start the conversation. Okay, James just sent us a question here. How do I reset all Easy Language Studies back to default? Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for reminding me, Jim. And John, this is something that I came across, and maybe you can tell us, if you guys are working on updating TS Pro, that ELD. You know, that's a file that's in the work area. And
Okay. Yeah, that is a good question.
yeah, and I usually tell people, just go in there and you'll grab everything that comes default on the TradeStation platform. And it seems like the file that's there. I'm not sure if I have an older version because you know how TradeStation now leaves everything in documents. But when I imported from tspro.eld, there are some things that disappeared from my work area. For example, the version of chart trading was old and it didn't have like keyboard trading. Was that the reason why I lost a lot of the most recent updates because I imported from TS Pro?
Yes. The key is to import the work area updates ELD. So if you import, there are actually two ELDs that are involved in the work area. One is TS Pro, which is the what you might refer to as the base work area, from which which then periodically, of course, actually pretty regularly, we're updating that. And the updates, then the latest version of every study that has been updated is in work area updates.eld, which I was just looking for to remember where we keep that. But the key is, if you import TS Pro, if you import everything and say overwrite your existing, or you delete everything and then re-import TS Pro and create a new work area that way, then the next step is to import work area updates.eld so that you have everything updated since the base.
Okay. Let me try
And
to find.
let me make sure where that work area updates is.
Yeah, I'm also looking for it because that's a good tip to know.
Oh
Because
yeah, that's the key to,
Yeah. And let me ask you something because the TS Pro, that ELD that I found in my directory was from the year 2017. So
Yeah.
when that file is updated, does it change the modify? It should change the modify date, right?
Well, when that one is the, but it goes back to sort of, as I say, a base work area from which there are a lot of updates to. So, so can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, the work area updates ELD is located in your program data, TradeStation Technologies folder. So program data for a lot of people is not visible by default. So you may have to make it visible to your, file explorer. So, but for example, for me, let me see if I can copy this or something. It's in, C: program data, TradeStation Technologies, TradeStation 10.0 program work area update. Oh yeah, maybe let me just share my screen. That'd be easy.
Yes, I was about to share my screen, but if you're going to share yours, yeah.
Okay, if you've got it, that's fine too. Yeah, either way. Okay, so let me get the right screen here. My screen is a little long and narrow. So I apologize if it's a little difficult to see, but I've got 4 monitors and the only way I can fit them on my desk is to turn them vertical. So can you guys see this now?
Yeah, we see them.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, so here's where it's located on my on my machine, just, and it's this file here.
Mhm. Yeah. And as John pointed out, the program data folder is a folder that comes hidden by default. This is a
Yeah, this guy,
this is
yeah.
a Windows folder, right? So where's the setting for us to? It's in the
I
view.
believe that's
Yeah,
under, okay,
yeah, view
view
the
options.
checkbox right there that says hidden items.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there's a checkbox. You just check it and it shows hidden items. I suppose that is a way of Windows protecting some files that could be messed up and make your
Correct.
operating system unusable. So you just have to be careful when you go in
Yeah,
there
you
that
got to
you
be
go to
careful probing around in there, right?
that you go to the right directory. So it is in program data once you make it visible. So program data, we go to TradeStation Technologies, TradeStation 10.0 program work area update, and that's where the work area updates.eld is.
Correct.
And another thing to keep in mind is that something that I noticed is that if you import from a file like this, it resets any defaults that you may have, set to built-in indicators. I had, my moving averages and my Bollinger Bands all set to a thicker style, and I had changed some colors. If you do any sort of that thing, it'll reset everything, even your styling, if you replace everything as I did during my class.
Yes. And you should get prompted about that.
Yeah.
So here, for example, if I'm importing, these things here, then you'll get a prompt with the dates and so forth, and see if I have the latest, okay, of course already, but
Mhm.
so but if there are changes and you say, no, oh no, I want to keep the one that I've already, modified, and that you can do that, or you can individually select the ones that you want, or that kind of thing.
Right, right. And it's better, just to, yeah, as you said, be a little bit more selective. There should only be, you only select everything if you're missing everything. But a lot of times, we go in there because either I mean, it's happened to me, where I'm editing some code and and I, um, I edit the original one. I know
Yes.
that Easylanguage has this great feature that is undo, and it has a great record of every changes you do historically. Now, let me ask you, that's a question that I have for you, John. The undo, the Control Z, that remembers, I think, the past 100 changes you've made, and you can just do Control Z and just get out of any changes you've done. Does that get cleared out when you close the environment, or does it
Yes.
still? Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Okay. So that only works if you make if you make an error, you can do Control Z all
Correct.
the way back. But yeah, if you shut down the development environment, it clears it out. And if you've done changes to something that's built in and you want to recover it, or if you want to reset it back to the way that it comes by default, the only way to do that is through importing these files. So the work area updates has everything in it. So you don't really have to go to tspro.eld if you know how to find the work area updates, right?
No, the work area updates just has the ones that have been updated since the TS Pro. So you still want the TS Pro, and it sounds like, I was just looking, where is the TS Pro located? I was going to check the date on mine, because yours does sound quite old.
Yeah,
2017.
it's in documents. So if you go to documents and you
Oh,
go to,
okay.
yes, TradeStation 10, and then you go
Oh,
to
okay.
Easylanguage,
Let
and
me
then
just
work
check.
area.
TS Pro. See, mine's from July of 22. If you're seeing something from 2017, there's something going on during your updating process that's not correct.
Yeah.
You should, because, and the reason I knew it was later was because, as I say, we update the TS Pro when we do what we call a rebase.
Uh-huh.
So when we have an update that's a rebase, and I was thinking that it was update 62 or something like that when we did the last rebase, which this date seems about right. And we did a rebase, and so then the TS Pro's up to date, and work area updates is everything changed beyond that, which, as you saw when I imported it, was a relatively small set of studies because
Right.
it only contains the stuff updated since this date. So
Mm. Yeah, and
something's going on there. Yeah.
and it's happening not only to me, because I think somebody else in class did it with
Oh,
me, and I'm not sure if I'm not even sure how to document that, or if it's
Yeah,
even something.
actually, mine is 2018.
You see, James is
oh, okay,
2018,
okay,
so
okay.
so
So
I'm not
something's
sure.
happening
Yeah,
there on the rebase process or something, because you may want to, at some level, I mean, it depends on how it's affecting you, but if there may be a good cause to call client services, and they may, want you to do a reinstallation or something, but it depends on what, I mean, if it's worth doing that for you, that'd be the,
yeah, but a reinstallation, I know that when you uninstall TradeStation, it doesn't remove documents, so the file would remain there.
we would do what we call a clean reinstall. So client services would go through a backup and then what they call clean reinstallation, which would mean you'd get rid of everything out of your documents folder. And then that way it will
Mm.
it will act. But again, that's whether it's worth it or not for that, because you're going to potentially lose all your settings and all that other stuff. So
Yeah, for sure. Yes, definitely.
you may not, I mean, unless there's something specific that you need, you may not want
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. And in fact, I very rarely go to tspro.eld. And this is something that not many clients know, that you can import from that file
Yeah,
and
that's
restore
true.
your stuff,
Yeah.
because it's not something you would do on a regular basis,
No, no, you shouldn't have to do that.
Right, exactly. So, but I just noticed that it was odd that I had an very
That
old.
is, yeah, that's probably a good case for a clean reinstall at some point.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that TS Pro, that date is it kind of tied to whenever you install the initial desktop.
Yeah, I think that you're right, Jim. I think I may have, but I mean, it
That may
seems
be
odd.
too. Yeah.
It seems odd because I think this computer, I don't think it's from 2017. I think it's newer than that. And
Well, that's interesting.
yeah, that file, yeah, it's just odd, really odd.
Yeah,
So
my computer is kind of new, so it's possible that,
yeah. So and another thing on that note, on the TS Pro that ELD, I think I lost my train of thought here because I did something, and well, it'll come back to me. Let's see.
that's fine.
Um,
I mean, the other option would be to get the latest tspro.eld from somebody and just replace yours with the latest, and that kind
right.
of, that'd be easier than a complete reinstall. So
Yeah, that would be a solution. Oh, one thing that I wanted to ask you, because I did mention chart trading, because when I replaced everything with the older TS Pro, my chart trading looked like it adjusted very nicely to my screen resolution, like the sizing, because I'm using magnification to 150% on my
okay.
screen. And the older version of chart trading looked really nice, because it adjusted
Huh.
to size. But the new version doesn't do that. If you change your screen magnification, chart trading doesn't adjust. Still holds, like a really small font. I'm not sure if there's something on the new version of chart trading that prevents it from adjusting, but I don't know. Just wanted to mention it. I'm not sure if you know anything
We
about
may
it.
need to create a ticket around that, because it should be the other way. In other words, I use 125% magnification. I'm just going to turn on chart trading here. So, it should be kind of, good like this.
Uh-huh.
If it's not on yours, there may be a need to investigate that further. Yeah.
I see.
Because yeah, we haven't released all of the changes yet that we've been working on for high resolution monitors and such.
Okay.
But and depending on your monitors and so forth, and if you're going
Yeah.
back and forth, if you've got a laptop that's using external monitor, all that setup can
Yeah.
be important. So
Yeah, it's not a big deal, It's just that
okay.
I noticed that, and whenever I use chart trading, I always tell people, that my magnification or my screen compatibility is kind of out of whack, and hopefully once they roll out all the changes, maybe it'll adjust on my side. but there's nothing in the code that controls this, right? This is all related to how TradeStation responds to high resolution monitors, right?
Well, it's a mixture. So the code does do all of the positioning of the controls, but it does not handle the change in monitor magnification settings. So that part is handled. It is handled by the platform code,
I
but
see.
not by the Easylanguage code for chart trading.
Right. Okay. That's fine. I think I'll wait until, all those changes have
Okay,
been
okay.
applied. Because usually what I tell users is you'll just look at your chart trading and it'll probably look a little bit bigger than mine. So,
Okay.
Prasad is asking about updates on the trading app store indicators. Prasad, could you let me know, exactly what you're looking for? Because the trading app store, as you guys know, was decommissioned. Um, are you asking about indicators that would probably be built into TradeStation? Because those are, I believe they're still in the process of being approved. Is that right, John? I think there are some trading apps that are provided by TradeStation, but then there are other trading apps that I think need to be approved or in the process of getting approved. Is that
I'm not. I don't know exactly. I thought that was something of the plan, but I thought that had already been done. So,
yeah,
but I'm not positive if there's more that.
yeah. Yeah, I know. Prasad, reach out to me specifically
Yeah,
because
let us know
yeah,
specifically what you're interested in.
yeah, because the indicators, third-party indicators, those are all gone. The trading app store was decommissioned, and most likely what you're looking for is not going to be there anymore. So let me know if there's anything that you're missing, and I'll let you know if it's going to be part of the platform or not. Okay. All right. Okay, someone's asking, Jim is asking about the CSV files that were in that work area update,
Correct. Those you don't really, you won't have to change them or anything yourself, but they're used to manage that work area updates process, and basically they tell the work area updates file what date to look at. In other words, so the question that arises is the when we're updating from work area updates, which we do automatically when you apply a platform update, when we're updating the work area, we look into your work area and we say, oh, what's the date in that CSV file for that particular study? And is it later than or earlier than the date last modified in the user's work area? If the date in work area updates is later, then we know we can apply the latest version of the work area from the work area updates file. But if the user's date is later, then we know the user made a change to that study, and we're going to need to prompt them for what they want to do to handle what's in work area updates. That's basically the use of that CSV file.
Okay. Yeah. Can you do something for me, John? Can you send me your TS Pro.eld?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And that's a newer version than most of us have. So
Okay.
if you send it to me, I'll package it up into a zip folder, into a zip file, and I can share it with the class right now. I mean, you can Slack it to me if you'd like,
Okay. Let me see. Yeah, I think I have I thought I had pinned that folder, but I guess I did. Okay.
I think I saw TradeStation Technology somewhere.
Okay, so yeah, Where'd it go? Okay. Oh, program files. I'm sorry, I was under the wrong thing. There we go. So the TS Pro then, where was it located again? Okay. So go ahead. Yeah.
No, I think
It was under program data? The TS
yeah,
Pro? No, the
TS
TS Pro's in documents, you said.
Oh yes, the TS Pro in documents. Yes.
You want the TS Pro, right? Okay.
Yes, exactly. I got confused for a moment there. Yes, not the updates, but just the TS
Okay,
Pro, the
okay.
base file.
Okay.
Yes.
TS Pro, there we go.
There we go. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, let me see if I can.
And in the meantime, there's a couple questions here that I can take. Steve is asking about alerts. Yeah, if you have alerts enabled inside of TradeStation, you can go to the message center to see what all those alerts that were
Good
generated.
morning.
Hey, Steve, how you doing?
Yeah, I did see his message, and I know that. What I was talking about
Mhm.
is I happened to see in one of your competitors' platform, they had an alert screen, and the gentleman was able to set his alerts right from the screen for like 8 different markets. I want to know when Apple hits price XYZ and Tesla hits this and etc. And it was really convenient to be able to set all your alerts from one screen instead of setting them in your charts or different areas. So I don't know if is that something that is available in Radar Screen or the
Mhm.
hot list or something to where
Yeah.
you could set alerts for different markets and just make it a little easier to manage.
For sure, yes. John, were you about to show him something?
Yes, I was just going to say you could do that here, although you do have to go. Of course, you got to go symbol by symbol. But you know, so for example, if you wanted to, you could say, okay, let me look at Home Depot. I'll edit the last indicator, set a high and a low, or whichever you prefer. You know, and then you have to enable alerts. You can enable alerts for all of them at one time, but then the price has to be set for each one individually.
Yeah.
Unless you got a better way, Jesus.
No. I mean,
okay.
I was just gonna say the same thing. You know, if you have a
Okay.
watch list and you have all your symbols, yeah, double clicking on the cell for any price, like if you see the price of Home Depot, just double
Could you
click
do
on
that
it.
as a percentage? Like if
Well, you
the
can do it on the
price
percent. You can do it on the percentage change too. If you double click on the
Okay.
percentage change column, let's see. John has H. Well, you can do. It's easier, John, if you cancel out of this. So if you are looking at a Home Depot, if you double click on that 0.81, just double click. Just double click.
Okay. Okay.
I double clicking is it's great because it's easy. Just double click on that 0.82, and
Brings
then
up the inputs tab. Same thing.
exactly, and just set your inputs and then turn on your alerts. That's the easiest that I've found. If you want to set alerts on different symbols, if you want to do it, since you're doing it on a percentage basis, I guess you can do it on the whole column and say, hey, if any symbol, increases or decreases by 1%, I want to be alerted. That's something you can do too.
Yeah, because that's more of what I would be doing. I'm too lazy to type in a price. So a percentage would be much easier.
Yes. So you can do it on the whole column as John is doing. On the right click on the column header, and you
Okay.
edit the column for all symbols. Correct.
And then don't forget to enable the alert here on the alert tab.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
Thank you.
Very welcome. By the way, I just shared a link with John's version of that TS Pro. So if anybody wants to download it, you can, and maybe replace the one that you have inside of your documents folder. It should be a newer version.
And again, I wouldn't replace everything in TS Pro unless there's some issue, because you're going to have a huge number of prompts and everything else. I mean, you don't want to just import that for no reason. I would select out of there anything that you need, or there's no reason to. Yeah.
For sure, because I mean, when you least think that it's going to affect your work, it does. You know, like for
Correct,
example,
correct.
on my
There,
case,
you don't want to mess with anything unless
yeah,
there's
yeah,
some need for, yeah.
for sure. In my case, like it reset all my styling, which was really a bummer because I had,
Yeah,
reset
yeah, you don't want
everything.
to, right.
Yeah.
And you definitely want to do your own backup of your own stuff before you do
Mhm.
anything like that. So anyway, yeah, I'd be a little careful with,
Yeah, yeah.
okay, okay.
So thank you, John, for that. So Luis is joining us. He says that he's a disabled combat veteran. Thank you for your service, Luis. He just joined TradeStation and he's been trading crypto for the last couple of years. He says he's lost in TradeStation. I'm sorry that you are, Luis. Our intention here is to, make things easier for you on the TradeStation platform. I'm not sure if you've had an opportunity to join me in my getting started classes. The master class, it has a lot of more, I would say, advanced content. For somebody that's just getting started with the TradeStation platform, maybe this conversation that we're having right now, it's a little bit, like a different language because we're talking about a lot of things that does require some foundational knowledge on the platform. So I'm sorry if you feel that way, but we do getting started classes every Wednesday at 10 a.m. You're welcome to join me there, and you're welcome to join me in any of my sessions. So feel free to to come to these classes, ask any questions you have because that's the reason why we're here. Okay, glad to have you here as well, Luis. Let's see. I think that's it. So Prasad, I see your comment about the DMI oscillator. I'm not sure that the DMI oscillator was one of the third-party apps that made the cut. It doesn't sound familiar, so we may have lost access to that DMI oscillator. However, Prasad, if you do know how the DMI oscillator was calculated, maybe it's just a matter of doing it ourselves. Maybe start up a post in the forums, and maybe it'll be a cool exercise to work on, right? If we knew what the calculations were. Are you familiar with that one, John? The DMI oscillator, do you know what it
No,
was?
no,
Okay. All right. Yeah, me neither. I don't know what the calculations were. We have the DMI built into TradeStation. I suppose the DMI oscillator just use that as a basis to do other sorts of calculations. I'm not really sure. All right. So I think that's all the questions, at least from the chat. This is the last call. Does anybody have any more questions? Or John, do you want to make any last minute comments, or we're good?
nothing here.
Okay. All right. Everyone has access to their microphones.
A quick question.
Sure.
This is regarding, last time John was on, it was briefly discussed that a fix is in the works to fix the strategy reports for when exporting. A question came up: was some features deleted with regards to strategy exporting, like XML or MHT file reports?
Yes, that was, yes. The entire underlying structure of those things changed. So MHT, we're looking at that again, because a lot of people seem to be using that. The MHT and XML went away, but that's the thing we're looking at.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because it is being used. Essentially, that data is being fed into other back testing engines, that are pretty, basically they're more advanced than what TradeStation, developed up to. These are like next gen.
Okay.
Strategy. They're quite complex, but
where you take the output from multiple tests or something and put it into something that then uses the output.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, and it randomizes the things, and it essentially does
almost at a portfolio level then or something. Okay.
Yeah, it does a bunch more statistics. I myself am not an expert. I'm learning on it, but I'm in that forum. I'm in that group of people that are doing all this advanced testing, because it does essentially give you more confidence that your strategy is good or not.
Okay. So it takes the output from our strategy performance report and then adds to it somehow.
Yeah, it basically does a lot more statistics on it. You know,
I see.
all these advanced statistical models, and
But they're based on the output that's already in the SPR. I gather from what you're saying.
Yes, yeah.
I see. As opposed to doing a different type of back test. In other words, if it's based on the strategy performance report output, it's not testing the strategy because there's nothing in there about what the strategy is or does. It's just the output of the strategy, you know, the summary performance report, not the actual strategy itself or anything.
Yeah, I'll find out more about it.
Oh,
'cause
okay.
I'm learning it right now, but
Okay.
we're all upset about it disappearing.
I see. They must have used that SPR data somehow. Okay.
Yeah. It somehow feeds into the model, you know.
I see.
Because I think what happens is you run several tests in TradeStation, and then you feed that data into this other model.
I see.
A lot more advanced things.
So I'm guessing all you guys know what he's talking about here. So, but just to refresh once we have some strategies applied, then we can look at the strategy performance report, and it's this report that he's trying to save. When you go to save it, you have the different things that can be saved, and then you can choose a format, and the formats that are available now are the Excel or comma separated values CSV format. Those are the two. There were two additional ones that Jim's asking about, which are XML and MHT, which is kind of a web file, a file that makes it like HTML. It's a multi-page web format with links in it and stuff. Anyway, those two formats are the ones Jim's asking about, the XML and MHT.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying that, John.
Sure. This whole, the whole SPR, it probably has a different kind of look and feel to you now because it's no longer HTML. These rows and all of this is no longer created. It's not HTML under here anymore. It's just regular Windows controls.
Yeah, it looks much nicer and a little bit more organized.
Yeah, it's a little cleaner, and yeah.
I agree. All right, that's that's it, John. Those are all our questions. And guys, thank you so much for joining us today. We're gonna have John again in a couple weeks, so mark your calendars for that Thursday. Remember that on Thursdays we meet at 11:30 rather than 12:30. But tomorrow we have two sessions. We have Ask the Experts at 11:30. That's dedicated just to platform questions, not easy language, but you're welcome to join as well. And we have our 12:30 session tomorrow. So just check the schedule for the topics. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for your support. John, again, thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure. Good to be here.
Have a great day, everyone. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.